Hey, good evening. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer and beatboxer, and tonight we're going to be listening to Dan Vasc perform Spread Your Fire from Engra, featuring Victor the Guitar Nerd. So this was a donation request from Rita Ross to cover, and thank you so much for that, and I wanted to make sure that I got to it as soon as I could. Also, I saw in the comments that some people are wondering, you know, you should also focus on requests made in your comments. And if you actually look throughout almost all of my videos on YouTube, you'll notice that almost all of them are requests from people made in the comments. I'm just saying that if you do donate to me, or join the Patreon and make a request there, that those will, of course, get priority. But I hope that you guys don't think that I'm not going to read the comments and not take the requests from there. So, you know, I absolutely will. But people who financially help support the channel are, of course, going to get priority. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding. Yeah, we recently covered another Dan video, but because this was requested, wanted to make sure I got on it. And, you know, I'm really excited for this. Again, I really love Dan. He is an awesome performer, and his last video that we covered was just so good. He blows my mind every single performance he does, and I'm just thrilled to jump back into him, and I hope you guys are as well. So without any further delay, let's jump into it. These drums, dude. Dude, just the intricacies on the guitar here are so clean and so precise, and the timing on it is just so good. Yeah, and just Dan coming in with this really coarse, ooh, woke up. Oh, yeah. Immediately sets the tone in the vocals, and it matches all of the atmosphere that was just built from the drums and the guitar. Love how everybody is contributing to this atmosphere. It's so good, man. And I love how he's stressing certain words, in your mind! Yeah, it really driving into you what the key takeaways of each lyrical verse are. Really, really good. Yeah, that was such a great belt. Look, actually watch him when he's doing this. Yeah, so when he's doing that, his tongue is completely relaxed. It's in his mandible. He's allowing so much space in his mouth, so the sound is resonating in his chest, passing through his larynx, and coming out directly through his mask. And it's so open, and it's such a pure sound, even though it's a belt, and it's just so well executed. Also, something else that I didn't comment on, the chorus of Dan's, so good. It adds such a strong, full sound to quite literally the chorus. But nah, he's really well done. It is very hard to multi-track yourself and make it sound good, and I feel like at this point in time, after all of the Dan stuff I've listened to, Dan is an expert in this. Yeah! I love Dan's energy. He's really feeling this guitar line too. Oh my gosh, he and I are on the same page right now. Oh, I am still sweating. No. Oh, I love this too. Like, in that verse you get Lucifer, and you get this fall off, which is ironic because it's Lucifer falling. But also, notice throughout the verse the different facial expressions Dan has, and how he approaches each of these words, each of these verses, with a different emotional intention. Yeah, it's because of these different emotional inflections that the actual sound in his voice changes ever so slightly. Even though it still sounds very similar and maintains the same atmosphere to match the guitar and drums, the way he approaches the lyrics is different, and you emotionally feel that. At least on a subconscious level, you feel this connection with him in how he approaches it. And I think that's a really, really great touch from Dan. That is a mark of a really excellent performer who's really understood and studied what it is that he wants to do with different aspects of the music here, which I really, really do appreciate. It's so good, I have to hear it again. Okay, that last section was amazing. This is going to be my first piece of constructive criticism. Something I really do appreciate about this section is the layering that he commits to here, where you have the intense voice mixed with his more operatic voice. His more operatic voice in this section, in order to try to match the energy of the guitar and drums and his other self, in his other intense self energy, he's trying to make this operatic section match that level of energy. So his operatic voice is more strained because of it. And you can tell that because his tongue tension is very evident here. If you actually look at his, let's actually look at his tongue when he's doing this operatic section. You can tell that his tongue isn't resting. It's kind of in the middle of his mouth there, which leads me to believe that the back of his tongue is more elevated, more close to his uvula, ultimately lending itself to the fact that the sound is now not reverberating as much as it could be, but is instead rather cut in half because the tongue is blocking off the available space for the sound to come through. And also, a lot of people might not know this, but your tongue actually begins, or ends, I guess, depending on how you view it, right down here. So if you have tongue tension in the middle of it, then it's very possible that your tongue is also pressing right down here near your larynx. And that can also restrict sound, because the idea of it is that the sound resonates in your chest and passes through your larynx freely. The larynx or your throat isn't made to generate sound. That's all from your breath having that resonate in your chest and pass it through. So you want this to be as open as possible. So to have him go, whatever the lyrics are, I'm just going to do it on a vowel. But if I were to have the same tongue tension that Dan is having here, it would be and even though it has a little bit more of that forward-facing energy, which matches, I guess, with the drums and guitar line. It's not as pure, and the contrast isn't as full and fulfilling as a listener. If I'm going to have this really big and robust operatic overtone to this really intense forward-facing belt, then I want to have that contrast be as, for lack of a better word, as obvious as possible. Like, I would like to have this pure, open, strong sound from the opera where everything is relaxed, the sound is flowing through freely, and then have this very intense, very forward belt, and having that complement the drums and the guitar really well. So that way you get all of these different layers, and in those layers you get really strong contrasts, which ultimately creates this very powerful dichotomy between parts. And that's just something that I would appreciate more of, because I know that Dan is capable of it. I've heard him do it in other pieces. So this isn't just him not excelling in this particular genre. I know he can, and it's just the way he's executing it in this particular instance that I feel he could actually do better in, because he's already proven it to us before. But with that being said, what he is going for here is exceptionally difficult to do. I recognize that, and he's still doing a wonderful job here. It's just something to keep in mind for the future. Let's go back a bit. You are the chosen. It's still so good. Yeah, and this is what I also meant earlier about these offbeat guitar lines. Just ba-da, da, da. Yeah, just, it's just so good. Oh! Wow! The drums are they're crazy here. But dude, this guitar line is so clean, so accurate and crisp, not just in the rhythms, in the notes, in the phrasing as well. Like, a lot of people wouldn't pay much attention to that just because of the acrobatics that are going on here in the guitar playing, but the actual way that this guitar line is being penned, just the it's like, even though it's very crisp and exact, it also flows with the momentum of the drums and the atmosphere of the piece. And that is such a key reason as to why this is so much more amazing than just guitar playing acrobatics. It's so good. His ability to sync up with himself there and play the harmony on that kind of guitar line. We're going back to listen to that again. Dan, that entrance was incredible. Perfectly in time. Immediately came on strong with the chorus of Dan's. And it wasn't even that coarse texture. It was that really smooth vocal texture that you had, which I think was really, really great in that particular instance, because the moment that really intense, wildly crazy guitar line just finished, all of a sudden we still get this very powerful energy from your voice, but it's smooth and it's just a different feeling in our body that just comes in seemingly out of nowhere, even though we can expect it to come in. And it's just such a great feeling experiencing just the sudden impact of the voice coming here. Oh my gosh. Yeah! Don't be afraid to lead the way. With our song of the arms, you are the chosen one. Yeah! This intensity. I stopped listening to the piece and I'm still sweating. That was just... the energy in this is so powerful, but even beyond that, the musicianship and the ability to play off of each other between these incredible vocals, not just in the leading melodic line, but in the chorus of Dan's, which was also very exceptional. And just the incredible musicianship and trained skill of an exceptional guitarist is so valuable, especially in this kind of piece. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. There's no other word to describe it. I'm dumbfounded. I'm flabbergasted. I'm transfixed. I am just in awe. Amazing job, Victor and Dan. I loved this so much. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If y'all liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments below. I do read all of the comments, even if I may not heart a reply to all of them, so please just know that your comments do not go unnoticed. If you guys would like to request a song for me to react to and to analyze, please join my Patreon and leave a comment there, or you can leave a donation in my PayPal or Venmo links. All are in the description below. My live streams are currently Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you guys would like to stop by and say hey or ask any questions about myself or the channel, I'd be more than happy to be there for you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. It truly does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.